Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to tell you all about the energy of lying and why you guys should never lie, and so much more. Now, I'm going to get very deep into this in this video because this is very important for you guys to learn. Some people are having the world's worst problems, karma, health problems, spiritual problems, emotional problems, because they passed a little lie and they thought it was okay. Now, everything has an energy. When you go through, basically from the entire Bible, I'm teaching more about Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers in my most recent videos. So I'll be using those as examples, especially since they're so fresh that I'm using the examples in the videos. But there's been multiple scenarios of people lying in the Bible. I can safely tell you, the people who have lied, if you look down the line of what happens to most of the people, they get a karma, but you usually have to think about like, oh, this person did this, for example, and there's a lot of examples. I don't like saying certain verses if they're not 100% the actual verse, so I can't say, oh, just in this part, for example, basically, I'll write more down in the future, because if I say one thing wrong, then my angels are like, okay, you gotta restart the video because you can't say one thing wrong. So in the future, I'll write them down. I teach things correctly. I don't teach things half correctly, ever. Okay? Now, if someone were to say that they've never lied in their entire life, that's a liar. Humans lie. It's in their nature. We learn to lie when we're little kids. I mean, there's a whole bunch of psychology reasons behind it, so study as to why humans lie. It's very interesting. Some kids will actually have been liars in past lives. Some kids have been liars in the current life. And there's a certain way to disable that behavior. Certain parents actually know how. Some parents will be like, oh, or some parents I've actually seen, some parents be like, okay. And the one style of parenting, which I'm not going to go into parenting about lying, but you can see different behaviors coming from past lives in children based on their first lie. So for example, my friend and his daughter told a lie, and he's like, okay, honey, that's great. And then he didn't confront her on the lie, and she went off by herself, and she came back and she said, Daddy, I wasn't telling the truth, I was lying. And she's like, oh, and he started crying like, that's my girl. That's her soul that is her soul at a soul level, because all humans will lie in their lifetime, except for Jesus. Well, Jesus Christ is Lord. So, never told a lie, but still was crucified. Now, like I said, the lying aspect of humans comes from past lives. It's a certain karma. It's a certain energy about a human. It's about a person's soul and their values. So, there are some people who you know for a fact, you'll see them and you'll be like, oh, you know they're lying, and then you really can't tell, because certain people who are so used to lying to the point where they don't care if they got caught, pathological liars. So some people will do that. That's actually, that's a form of, I'm going to say a form of spiritual crown chakra illness. Let's just say that in the nicest words. Disclaimer, this video is spiritual and not physical at all. So, yeah. Yay, disclaimers. Why should you guys never lie? Why should you never lie? Can you tell me it's not good? God sees it and he'll make you pay for the lie. You will pay for every lie that happens. It doesn't matter if it's a small one or a big one. I mean, you're going to pay for everyone. You might pay small or you might pay big, but it just depends on the lie. What happens if you get away with lie? It's a karmic buildup. So anything that's sent to you or that's going to attack you spiritually, you kind of accept it because it fits in the energies that you put off, even if it's a year later. So let's just say someone did something on your voodoo doll and they cut the legs off, and now you can't feel your legs anymore. Well, let's just say if you got over on someone a year ago, that's your payment. That's the energetic match of what you did. It got paid for. If you didn't lie, and it could be something small. It could be something small. What about a joke versus a lie? If a joke's a joke, or theatrics is theatrics, but if you're lying and people are being put at stake, then yeah, So when a comedian goes on stage and they're telling stories, that's storytelling, that's theatrics, but it's kind of implied. It fits what they're doing. But if you're on the street, and a lot of you guys, you really, really hurt yourselves. I'm going to tell you right now, for people who actually need help, for example, homeless people who are actually hungry, and you say, and your pocket's full of money. And I've seen this happen. I'm going to tell you an example right now. I was at a gas station, and I was talking to a guy, and the guy does really well. He's not going to watch this video. He works on boats. His pocket is full to the brim of money. Full to the brim. He has a fat wallet. And it's almost braggingly fat. I mean, it's good to have a fat wallet, but his wallet is basically sticking out of his pants. Like, he pulled it out to pay for gas. And you can see all the hundreds. It's, God bless this man. I'm going to tell you what happened next. Story time. And this is a little tiny lie. A guy, and you have to keep in mind, sometimes an angel will come up to you in the shape of a homeless person, or the Lord will do it himself, which you'll find out at the end of your life how many homeless people are not actually homeless people, even if you see them around for a whole year. I hope this guy doesn't want, I mean, if he watches this video, he'll understand, because let me get the story now. The homeless guy walked up to him and said, he said, I'm hungry, do you have any money? And I had fruit in my car, so I gave him fruit. It was after the guy said, the guy said word for word, I don't have any money in my pockets, like I don't have any cash. And I looked at him, I'm like, I didn't really say anything. At that time I wasn't as vocal. Before I'd put him into a lesson, and he just, in my heart, I just lost connection as a friend to this dude. And him and his wife did very well. And he's like, okay, I have to pick up my kids from practice or whatever. And I just kind of like, when your heart drops after you find something out. When I saw that in front of him, I didn't have any words. I just stopped talking. I'm like, that's your soul. That's your soul would lie like that, even if it's small. So I don't trust you now. I don't trust you. That energy of trust is in the heart chakra. I don't care if it's to someone else. Someone who does that to someone like that, and someone who would do that to someone else, it's just not cool. So he proceeded to leave the gas station. I went home. That was a while ago too. So I got in my car, drove off, and I thought about it. The homeless guy got an orange, a bottle of water, and a banana. Okay, and he was very happy about it. He's like, thank you. Actually, this is something that feels good. I wasn't going to give him sugar or something like that. I wasn't going to buy him anything else, which in Florida, it's understandable to buy them food versus to just give them the straight cash. But still, the guy could have said, okay, I'll go inside and grab you fruit. I already had fruit from inside, so I already had it. So now I've learned to grab granola bars, etc. That's outside the topic, though. But the guy called me when I got home. He said his voice was like kind of broken up, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, he almost sounded like crying. He's like, you didn't see me drop the wallet at the gas station? Like, I can't find it in the car anywhere. I'm like, I don't know. I saw it in your pocket when it was sticking out of your pocket, dude. And I thought about it, and he was almost in tears on the phone. I'm like, well, if you do that well, that shouldn't mean anything to you, right? And he's like, oh, I had more than that. I had more than cash in my pockets. I'm like, well, you said you didn't have anything in your pockets, right? Huh? Well, I didn't actually say that to him. I was just like, I was thinking about it more than anything. At this point in my life, I would flat out just say, I would go into lesson mode like, you need to talk to God right now. But back then I was more in observant mode because I was still learning. So I'm like, let me think about this. So he hung up the phone, and he never found his wallet after that. And it was a big, like, I guess it really hurt him. And he flat out, when you walk around like that too, in Florida, of course he's equipped, but that didn't matter when it came to karma. God, it wasn't on the side of someone who stole. Well, what do I mean by stole? You basically stealing justice at that point, stealing the energy of truth. So, in a sense of when you lie, you also steal from a person's heart chakra as well. So, stealing from mine, as in I witnessed that and I just you stole that trust and stole from the guy a chance that he could have ate. So, lying turned into stealing real quick on an energetic level. So, in the spiritual realm, that's a form of theft. So, the karma just doubled. So, after that, whenever I saw the dude, I just didn't say anything. I just walked away. I don't see him anymore. Like I said, wow. First of all, why was someone walking around like that? You could put a bunch of ones to fill it up if you want it to look big. There's a bunch of hundreds, like a stack of hundreds, and it's not necessary. It's just, well, outside the point, the energy of lying put him in a very different situation very fast. It's as if his wallet just teleported out of his pocket, like a fairy took it or something. But what happens if you're lying to people? And because lying has different karmas, like what if you got someone let's just say you added more onto a bill and you lied about the bill. That will follow you in every aspect of your health life, your mental life, your peace life. If an opportunity was supposed to come to you, it won't now. Let's just say you better believe in how many things God protects you from. Like, your protections are just dropped. So lying can turn into stealing very fast. On an energetic level and on a spiritual and physical level as well. So it's a very heavy energy. And one thing, there's one thing you should look at is when you read Leviticus, it's the law of the Levites. So Jesus Christ our Lord has died for our sins. But the thing is, if you don't learn from them, then you're on your own. You can get forgiven over and over again, but if you're not learning, your iniquity is something you will live. That will be your iniquity. You will bear that consequence upon your soul, especially if a person of God goes to the person about it, or especially if that person's asking for clarity and light. Now the judgment's on that person who lied simply because they're out of the right. That rhymed. Write that down. And your angels don't protect you like that after you lie like that, especially to a family member, especially to a friend. And you have to be careful what you lie about too, because that you literally manifest it. Remember, a girl told me in college when we had a study group, because everyone has a study group. Oh, she said something happened to my car, and she said something like that, and that's how I started noticing a trend. I'm like, is this being manifested or is this being paid for? It's both. So she said something happened to her car, and that's why she couldn't take the notes to the study group. Do you want to know what happened? She drove off a road. And I can say it, Gainesville, Florida. So, into the woods. Maybe, I think she was texting. I don't know what happened, but could have been doing something else. Who knows? But it just happened. I remember a long time ago, someone who I did not want to be around at all. And this is even the smallest lie, because I actually lied in the moment. I flat out lied. I was in college too. And say, oh, do you have time to do this? I'm like, nope. And I said something about I had to fix the wheel in my car. And immediately after, I had to fix the wheel in the car. Now I just learned how to be upfront and say, no, I'm not doing it. No, thank you. That's it. You don't have to say anything else. Even when you say something very small, it'll manifest because God wants you to understand the power of your word. So you could be in the full right, and yeah, you don't want to hang around that person, but a lie is a lie. Unless you're a comedian on stage, or if you're, etc., and you're not doing something for theatrics, a lie is a lie. Will angels lie? They'll stay quiet. They don't lie. They tell you the straight truth. So who are you getting in readings when you're pulling these tarot cards? The angels are not talking. You're talking to trickster spirits who lie their butts off because they're looking for attention. And the more you pull the cards and you ask them for help, the more you're getting them on the side. So a simple lie can turn into something very big. Especially whatever you lie. I mean, it's just a manifestation of whatever you lied about. So make sure you guys are not lying, because it's more than something you manifest for yourselves. It's something you'll live. Even the smallest lie. And God will side with the people who are not lying of him. God will not pick your side because, I mean, the thing is, because if this person's dead wrong and they're doing right by God, but they've worshipped God longer, he's going to pick the person doing right. Not because, oh, this person does this many prayers, oh, this person prays 5 or 10 times a day. It doesn't matter. Right is right. Doing right by God is doing right by God, or doing not right by God is doing not right by God. Straightforward. Very straightforward. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Check out FloridaStoneman.com. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. I'd like you guys to check different characteristics as to when someone's lying. For example, criminal investigators will know that. Look at other videos on YouTube, not my videos. I mean, you can look at mine. I teach a spiritual side. This is a spiritual YouTube. So look at criminal investigators. Liars will rub their face. They'll look like this all the time. They'll be like doing something different, and you'll see it. If you have any questions, ask it in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. If you'd like a custom necklace, I'm actually doing them on Instagram now to remind myself to tell you guys that in my YouTube videos as well. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.